There is a way to sort tridents in a drowned farm. Once you've sorted all the stackable items, you should only end up with tridents and fishing rods. And even though they are both unstackables, there is still a way to differentiate one from the other. And it's simply using the fact that the fishing rods can end up in a smoker or a furnace, and so you can sort them and only keep the tridents. Since the fishing rod is made of wood, it can be used as a fuel in a furnace. So if you put it in the hopper, it will automatically go in the furnace. But if you put the trident in the hopper, it won't go in the furnace. And this is what we can use to differentiate them. To do it automatically, we just need to have a hopper below that is locked. Then you put one of the items in the hopper and unlock the one below. If it's a trident, it will go in the hopper below, and if it's a fishing rod, it will go in the furnace before this one will unlock. But there is a small problem with that, and it's that if you put a fishing rod, it will light up the furnace for 300 game ticks, and if you put other fishing rods too soon, then the slot will be full and the fishing rods will end up in the bottom hopper. So you can't input fishing rods too fast. But it's not really an issue, you just have to wait 300 game ticks every time you send an item, which means that you can sort 240 items per hour. And if you replace the furnace with a smoker, then it takes only 150 game ticks to smelt an item, which is 480 items per hour. And this is plenty. If you take Encolio's drone farm for example, which is already really fast, it's around 250 unstackable items per hour, so the tridents and the fishing rods. I'm gonna show how you can build this system, and this is also gonna be the block by block tutorial. And in this case I'm gonna use a smoker. I think the only benefit of using a furnace is if you are in the nether and want to automatically produce basalt to smelt in a furnace. So you need one hopper on the side of the furnace, one on top, and here you can have double chest. And below you can have another hopper. You will have two double chests this way and the two hoppers facing into the double chest. Then you will need to have a dropper facing into the hopper here. You can place an observer looking at the hopper, then a repeater on 4 ticks, a piston with a redstone block, then a glass block and a repeater on 2 ticks. So when you trigger this observer, it will trigger the dropper here, which will put the item in the hopper, and then a few ticks later it will unlock the hopper. On this side we can have a hopper feeding into the dropper and also a double chest, and this can be the input, and you can either have this hopper directly connected to the output of the farm, or you can also have this double chest in between just as a buffer, because if you have too many items coming at once, they will end up here and then they will wait until they get sorted. And now it's pretty much done. We just need to have a clock to trigger this system every 150 game ticks. And for that we are going to use a hopper clock. So we can place first a redstone block. This redstone block will power the hopper, and that's what will send a signal to this observer to trigger the system. Then we will need 2 sticky pistons, one here. Then we can place the hoppers below. We can place 2 normal blocks, it can be glass blocks or solid blocks. Then you need 2 comparators, one on each side. Here we will also have a repeater, solid block, and then this needs to be a transparent block, so either glass or a slab. And on the other side you can have a solid block, and then redstone dust on each side. And near the input we can also have a comparator to detect when there is item in this chest, and we can have a redstone torch. So this way the system will be always off and it will turn on when you have items arriving in the chest. So you don't have to turn it on manually. I didn't add anything to stop the system if you don't have any more items to smelt, but if you run out of items, you will just have all the tridents and fishing rod ending up in the same chest. And finally you can add 20 items in this hopper, and this will be used for the clock. You can also see the system in action. Here I have a few items in the chest, and if I turn this on, we can't really see much, but every time the clock will turn on, we will have the dropper triggering and the item be saying here. And in this case it was a trident, so this unlocked and the trident was sent here. And I also made a system with 2 furnaces if you want twice the speed, or also if you want to use regular furnaces to have the same speed. And this is exactly the same. The logic is a bit different, but you still have the clock on this side, and the input is at the top, and the items are sent into this dropper, and they are sent into the 2 droppers here that are on top of the 2 hoppers. In this case, I'm using comparators to detect when the items are arriving, and then they unlock the hoppers below in the same way. And we have the tridents ending up here, and here will just be the smelted items. If you want to build a bigger one, there will be a schematic, and there will also be a schematic for this one. And if you want to change the smoker for a furnace, you just need to make the clock twice as slow. So in this case, we'll need 40 items. That will be it for the video. It was a really short one, but I hope some of you will find it interesting. And I had no idea you could sort tridents until a few days ago, when we were talking about it with Squishy, and someone in his stream mentioned that we could use furnaces. And that's when I quickly came up with the system, and thought it was worth sharing. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.